But we are live on Instagram. Oh,
Oh.
now we're live. Okay, cool. Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Friday. This is Billy and B Town Meridian Real Estate, and it's Coffee Chat live time. It's been a while, but I have my special guest here. We have Riley Wolery, just like Chuck Woolery. He told me that. How do you say your last name? But we're here this morning. I'm getting caffeinated up. I didn't land until like 1 o'clock this morning from Orlando, but I'm happy that I'm here because at first I was like, oh no, I don't want to have to reschedule this. And because I thought I was going to be stuck in Minneapolis, but here I am. Here we are. Thanks for being here today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah. So one of our mutual friends actually hooked this up for us. I had posted something like, hey, I'm looking for some people to interview, and she brought you up, and we connected that way. So this is the first time we've actually met.
Well, we've messaged on social media, but face to face.
The power of social media, friends. It brings people together. But why don't you just give us a quick introduction of who you are, and then we'll get started.
Okay. Well, my name's Riley Wolery, like she mentioned. Fifth generation Montanan. I've lived here in Billings probably the last 8-9 years. And that's kind of it.
That's kind of it. But
pretty boring.
No, not pretty boring, because we were having a conversation before we started, and you were actually on the Yellowstone. Well, you were an extra in the Yellowstone series. Tell us a little bit about that, because I think I find that fascinating.
Well, so it was kind of spur of the moment. It was Sunny Red Star, Kevin Red Star's daughter.
Oh.
She put a post out a couple years back. Hey, filming in Montana for Yellowstone, we're looking for extras.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like a Saturday evening. I'm like, sure, why not? And then I got a call that Monday. Hey, we'd like to have you as an extra, be in Missoula next Tuesday.
Wow.
So it was very spot on last minute.
Yeah.
So I'm like quickly scrambling, like, holy cow, this actually worked. Like this actually happened. So I come to my manager and I'm like,
I have this great opportunity.
Mm-hmm. So, and it was also like a little mini vacation. It was great.
So how long were you there? How long did you have to be on set?
So we were there. I was in Missoula a total of 7 days, but we actually only filmed like 3 days.
Okay.
And it's crazy. They actually film things backwards, in the sense like the end of the episode is filmed first, and then it's the beginning. There was one day we filmed for 14 hours.
Oof, that's grueling.
You think if this was a scene on a show, there's different like lighting or different points that they hit. So it's the same scene that they're filming, but they might do it for 3 hours. Yeah,
because they have to get different angles. And that's one thing I learned. I was like in a little short film. You have to do the angle from the back, because if you're talking to somebody, they got to get. And so they're like, you have to keep redoing the scene, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Yeah, I was a protester in the scene when they're trying to get the airport developed.
Yeah.
So half the day, all of us extras, some of us were SWAT team members, some of us news reporters, others protesters. There was one day we spent half the day getting arrested. Like it was great. It was fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you have an acting background, or was this your first time you just was like, let's just do this?
I mean, I did high school plays, but that's about it.
Okay.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually also applied to be an extra, but I didn't. I must not have had the look or something. I don't know, but I was like, dang it.
Well, initially they were going to have me be a SWAT member.
Yeah.
But then they realized, we don't have any costumes that fit.
Oh.
So we're going to keep you as an
pretty
extra.
Tall.
Yeah.
You're tall. How tall are you?
6'5".
Okay. Yeah, pretty tall.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So what did you get out of that experience? What was your takeaway?
I don't know. For me, it was just mainly just taking that leap of faith. Like, okay, let's see if it's going to even work. Like, I'll put in the application for it. And then once I was there, it was obviously the cameras, you knew you were being filmed, but it was just kind of cool to be a part of that group of people. You know?
To say that, hey, and you were telling me a little bit about the actress that plays Beth, right?
Yep. So the first day we were there, I actually saw Kevin Costner. He was acting as the kind of the producer behind the scenes with the cameraman. And then there was a scene where Beth is hauling ass down the road, and she comes out, and all of us are like, "Oh, who's this? Who's this?" And we realize it's Kelly Riley.
Yeah.
Because the season prior, we all thought she got blown up.
Oh, right, right.
So this was
crazy.
This was like, okay, she's alive.
Yeah.
But we all had to sign
non-disclosures
not to talk about it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like,
how hard is that? I mean, to keep that to yourself.
Well, I accidentally laughed and told my parents.
Oh.
And I was like, forget you heard that.
You heard nothing. So that's cool. I love that, because a lot of people that are watching know the show. We were talking before this that a lot of people actually moved here to Montana because of the show.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, because it's nothing like what you see on there, right? Like,
no, they need to film a season during the winter time.
Yes.
So people realize this is how it is.
Yeah, this is Montana. It's not all blue skies all the time.
Yeah.
Right? Well, that's awesome. So you are an artist. You're a local artist here in Montana. So how long have you been doing it? How did you get inspired to start? Like, is it painting?
Yep.
Okay.
So we've got artists on both sides of my family, whether it's like pen and inks or sculpture or whatever.
Okay.
So there's always been appreciation for art in my family growing up, which I was lucky with. I don't know, I was pretty much drawing ever since before I could crawl.
Oh, really?
Just anything involving art.
Been there. Cool.
All through schooling, like elementary through high school, I took every art class I could think of. And my senior year was literally study hall, and then the rest of the day art classes. Like just anything to be involved in the arts.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it in a nutshell.
So basically, since you were born.
Yeah, pretty much.
You were probably in the womb drawing. That's awesome. So, how does living in Montana influence your artwork? Because what would you say your style of art is?
It's definitely impressionistic. I can talk.
That's early in the morning.
Yeah. Music definitely helps me, like get in the creative mood too, like instrumental type based pieces. I'll paint landscapes and try to do animals. I don't do portraits by any means either, like just because it'd be hard. If you're painting somebody, it's either got to be spot on or it's not going to be the person, like no one's going to know. Yeah. So animals are a little more forgiving. Right. Yeah, my biggest thing is you got to be in the right mood. The creative juices have to flow, right? Yeah. Yeah, I totally get that, because I'm a dancer. We were talking about this a little bit ago. And right now I'm choreographing a show, and the creativeness has to be there, right? Otherwise you're just like, it's like just a blank piece of paper, and you're just like staring at it like, I don't know what to do. You have no inspiration. So music, what kind of music do you typically listen to? Like Western or classical? It'll vary. I'll listen to like Lord Huron, if you've heard of them. They're kind of like country bluegrass. Oh, okay. Like very instrumental. Or it'll be Rob Zombie. Oh, wow, that's a big contrast. Yeah. Sometimes I'll listen to like Beethoven. Like I'm kind of all over. Sure. Yeah, I don't know. Music does help though. Yeah, it does help. Yeah. I usually got to listen to music. I got to be barefoot. Barefoot. Okay. I don't know. Grounding. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And then I usually am either drinking coffee or whiskey. Or whiskey? Or have both together. Maybe not so much. Nah. But that's cool. So what's your favorite whiskey? Do you have a brand that you like? So I like Irish, but I'm not a big Jameson drinker. Oh gosh. What? How come? I don't know. I don't want to say it's a taste, but it's not my go-to. Okay. I'm all about quality, not quantity, so to speak, on some things. Yeah. And liquor is one of them. Right. I like Redbreast, Bushmills. Oh my gosh, Redbreast. My husband loves
red breast. And it's expensive.
Oh yeah.
But it's very, yes. He loves that.
Yeah.
He's actually watching right now. And one of the things that we learned once we went to Vegas together was for wedding anniversary that we both cannot drink Irish whiskey together. It's an explosion. I end up being very aggressive, and he ends up being very like,
mellow.
Yeah, and it doesn't mesh. So, Frank, you're watching. No Irish whiskey for us, right? Oh, I don't even drink anymore. But when I did, we stopped doing that. It's like, okay, which one of us is drinking the Irish whiskey? The other one's not. So that's awesome. No, because I mean, the creating, it's hard, right? Because it's like, okay, how do you start? Because like, especially with painting, with art, like you said, it's just a blank. Where do you start, right?
Well, and everyone I think has a different creative process.
They do. Mm-hmm.
For me, it's all mental in my head. Like I can see it, how it's going to be done, but then it's just executing it on either the paper or the canvas, which when I was younger, I struggled with. Like when I was growing up, when I was little, I literally just used color pencil or black. Oh. I didn't use any color.
Interesting.
And my mother, she put me in an art class, 2nd or 3rd grade. And the art teacher was even like, he's afraid to use color. Because in my head, I could always see like, okay, the apple's got to be red.
Yeah.
But it's got to be a specific red. It's got to look a certain way. And I couldn't ever translate it right. So it wasn't until like, 8th grade or even freshman year in high school, I started experimenting with paints more, and now it's just that's all I use is color.
Okay. So, and what are acrylics, oil?
Yep. Yeah. So I've only ever done one oil painting.
Is it painful?
I mean, it was fun. I should sit down and try to mess with it more.
Yeah.
But it does take a long time to dry. Like you got to be very patient with it and not in a hurry. So yeah, it's an adjustment, but it's doable.
Yeah. See, like for me, I can't paint because I have no patience. I have no patience because I've done like the sip and paints and stuff like that, and I'm just like, am I done yet? Like, can I be done now? Because you know what I mean. So, how long would you say on a typical piece does it take for you to complete a piece? And I know it probably varies, but like on average, like if you're really like honed in, zoned in, like creative juices are flowing.
I mean, I've made as small as like a 2-inch by 2-inch magnet, and I can knock that out in like 40 minutes to an hour and a half.
Okay.
The longest I've spent on a piece was about 2 years.
Wow.
But I would literally just like maybe paint on it for 30 minutes this night and then forget about it for a week. And then like, I can't do a start to finish necessarily.
Right.
I kind of got to be able to break it up on my own time.
That makes sense.
Eventually, if I have my own place, I would like to maybe on a bedroom door, pantry or something. Have you ever seen Aboriginal art?
No.
So it's all composed of just dots. It's stippled.
Yikes.
It was very, very time consuming. I would want to do like an Aboriginal style, like sun piece on a door.
Oh, that would be cool.
Like 7-8 foot door and just all dots.
Wow. That would be crazy.
Yeah.
Well, if you do that, I want to see it.
Okay, deal.
Make sure you post it.
Well, you are a realtor, so I need him at a house.
There you go. Give me a call. We'll help you find that door. That's awesome. So we kind of talked about the themes and messages that you aim. So like when you're painting something, are you trying to paint it for someone, like thinking, okay, what does someone want, or do you just do it for yourself? Like whatever images come to your mind, like when you're thinking
when I first started out, I was so focused and worried about what's the public gonna like. And that is impossible.
Yeah.
Everyone's got different styles, everyone's got different ideas of what they think is great, good art and bad art. I just am painting what I'm gonna paint.
Yeah.
Like the show this year, it's called Perspective 2024.
Yeah.
So every artist, I mean, it's an art to do what you do. It's an art to be a bartender. It's an art to,
Yeah.
there's no end. Everybody has a different perspective on things.
Mm-hmm.
So in my show, I've got 12 artists ranging from watercolors, oil paints, to even a metal worker. If every artist involved was a painter and they all painted ducks or something, they're all going to have different perspectives on color palettes, light source, positioning, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's ultimately painting is perspective. It's what you want, what you're seeing, and what you're wanting others to be seeing.
Yeah, I like that. And I like that you finally decided I'm not going to just do it for what I think people like, because like you said, you're not going to win.
Well, and it's just I worked in a frame shop briefly, and there are so many shades of white. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, yes.
So you would have this little old lady come in and want to get a piece framed and matted, and you look at 4 dozen whites, and they all look white, but at a glance, some of them, yes, they'll look yellow, they'll look blue,
Mm-hmm.
but when she's down to, okay, I got these two to pick from, it's like they're the same.
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know, but it's her perspective.
It is.
So
It is. And people see things differently, like you said. Like, I'll look at a painting and I'll see something that my friend next to me totally see something different. They will hate it and I will love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I love that it's called Perspective. So tell us a little bit about this event that's coming up.
So this is the 4th year that I've done this. These shows are something that I've done all on my own. I was 24, 25 when I first started the show, and I just was like, I don't have college debt. I don't have a wife and kids. I'd like to try to find a job where I am happy doing what I want to do.
That's what we strive for, right?
Yep. Darn bills.
Yeah, dang it.
But I did. I went down to the courthouse, got myself licensed under a business, and was like, you know what? I got some money set aside. I'm not going to waste it on college or
college not
anything. Yeah, so I was like, let's start up a show and see if it works.
Yeah.
So.
And would you say the art community in Billings has really grown in the last few years? Like, it's just
there's a lot of local talent and artists, but it's all throughout the state too.
Oh, I mean, absolutely.
When I was in Missoula that week, I think they call it Good Friday, but every Friday they essentially have an art walk.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, being a Montana native, I want to try to support every artist.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not possible, but
right.
Anyone that's open to coming to the show or even being in the show.
Yeah.
Every year I always have a few people that reach out to me, hey, are you full this year? And unfortunately, I got to turn them down.
Yeah.
But I'm like, there's always next year.
Yeah. Sign up now. Sign up today.
Yeah. So.
And it's May 11th.
Yep.
At the Northern
Mother's Day weekend.
Mother's Day. Hey, I think that's a great. I mean, he handed me these tickets, and I'm gonna go. So Frank, if you're still watching, date night, we're going.
There is going to be whiskey.
There'll be whiskey for you. I will not drink. You can drink all the whiskey. No, but I was like, I think I'm back from DC, and I am. So this would be perfect. It's actually his birthday weekend too. So this would be fun. A good way to celebrate both Mother's Day and his birthday too. So thank you for the tickets. So not only do you have all these artists, but you also have ARC.
Yep. So
Montana Dance Collective coming to dance as well. And I used to, we were talking, I used to dance for ARC. So it's like, man, this is so cool. Like how everybody's connected in some way, right?
Oh,
it's a small world.
Small world for sure.
Small world.
With talking to people.
Yeah. And then you also said there is a gentleman that is going to be taking, what did you call it again? The old time photo?
Yep. So this year we got ARC, like Billy had mentioned. And then we also have a photographer coming out of Missoula that does tintypes. those are the old school photos they did like back in the 1860s.
I think that's so cool.
So yeah,
I'm excited about that.
kind of reviving lost art.
Yeah, and so the attendees that go to this, do they pay extra to get it like a picture to take home, or how does that work? Okay.
So he is just kind of an extra piece to the show that I decided to get last minute. His artwork that he's selling is in essence the photography that he's providing.
I love that. So that's cool. I'm gonna definitely do it.
Yeah, no, it's definitely,
because you showed me a picture that you had.
Yep.
It looks really cool, like old timey.
Yep.
Yeah, very, very classic. And the other thing too is that you will have a live auction that benefits a couple of nonprofits. You want to talk on that a little bit? One of them I'm really excited. I mean, they're both really good, but one of them I'm really excited about.
Well, so every year I've always tried to have a main focus on a charity, and this year it's still MMIW, Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women. And then this year we decided to also go with a local charity, and we went with Family Promise. So yeah.
Shout out to Family Promise.
So yeah, the auction event itself will take place around 7:30, 8 o'clock ish. Some of the artists will be doing what's called a quick finish or a quick draw. So that means that they'll actually be painting or drawing live.
Ooh, those are always cool.
Yep. So then when they're finished with that piece, then that will be auctioned off, or it'll be just a straight donation.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So yeah, if you like that kind of environment, come to the event.
I think it sounds fun. Yeah. And tell us, like, how much are tickets? So these are the tickets.
So we physically only have about 50 tickets left.
Okay.
They're $30 a piece for a single, or it's $50 for a couple. Now that's for the VIP portion from 5 to 7. That'll include 1 glass of wine, appetizers, first chance to buy the artwork, see the dance performance, and hear 2 guest speakers.
Okay.
So from 7 to 10, that's going to be the general admission event itself. That's going to be $10 just to stamp at the door. Okay. So perfect. Try to cut down on cost, because you never know how many tickets to print.
That's true.
But,
yeah, and I can imagine these aren't cheap to print, because these are nice.
Yeah.
Cardstock. Very cool. And you got some sponsors.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. And there you get, like you said, you get 1 glass of wine and hors d'oeuvres too. And it's from 5 to 7 is the VIP portion.
Yep. But then afterwards, you can stay all the way to the end.
Okay.
So
awesome.
Not like we're gonna kick you out.
Yeah. No. Now, as far as like what you should wear, just come as you are. Is it kind of a fancy upscale type?
Semi-casual. I mean, or cowboy casual, as my mother would say.
Cowboy
like
casual. Break out the cowboy hat.
Yeah. I went ahead and bought a suit this year, so I'll be dressed up.
You'll be dressed up. Cause are you like the MC? Are you emceeing it too?
Oh no.
You're like, no, I'm not doing that. Don't give me a microphone.
No, our MC, he's also the DJ and the auctioneer. It's Dave Austin.
I don't know. I don't think I know who that is.
But
he's a DJ.
Yep.
Okay.
He's on a few local radio stations. I just, for the life of me, can't think of him right now.
Yeah.
But this is the second year he's worked for us. So
nice.
We haven't scared him off yet.
Well, that's good. That's good. Well, no, I'm excited. That'll be fun. So where can people buy these tickets?
So it's usually best to just PM me directly on Facebook or Instagram.
Okay.
Usually I'll check my Venmo and just see, but if I see a notification that, hey, Billy just bought some tickets, I'll just see the money amount, and then the night of the event at the ticket table, all you'd have to say is your name, and then they'll just have the list.
Be on the list. Okay, cool.
So hopefully next year we'll just have a QR code to make life a little simpler. But
a little digitized.
Yeah. Each year you learn little shortcuts, and things, what to do and what not. So.
Yeah. And what's your Instagram handle?
So it's just Wolery Artwork.
Okay, Wolery Artwork. So follow them there, and then Facebook.
Same thing.
Same thing.
So it's either Wolery Artwork, and then you can also check Perspective
2024. Okay. Hey, Brianna, you want to join our live feed? She's like, no. she's like, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. So what has been the most challenging project that you've worked on? What did you learn from
Oh boy.
it? These are ChatGPT questions, by the way. I asked the robot this morning, give me some questions to ask.
Well, it's not a physical piece itself, but I've actually been working on a business plan to open up an art gallery.
That's so hard.
Yep.
Plans are hard.
Whether or not it's in Billings or not, I'm still open to ideas and suggestions, but I want to open and create a art gallery that showcases Native American artists, as well as kind of archive museum quality pieces. Now I want to take it a step further and showcase tribes throughout the country, not just within the state.
Right.
Because like for my tribe, we're based in Oklahoma.
Oh, okay.
So I just felt like it would be fitting if I'm the curator of this gallery, I'm representing Oklahoma, so kind of open it up to everybody, not just within Montana.
Right. That's cool.
But so that's about the only big project I've been working on.
And that's a biggie. The business plans are no joke. No joke. Sorry. So you want to open like a actual a stationary place, right, where you can have all your artwork displayed, kind of like a studio, like an art studio?
No, well, like I'm open to suggestions as far as the building itself and layout. Like I'm adaptable. If it's only 3,000 square feet, then that's what I got to work with.
Got it.
But I want to, in my head visually, I want to have like all the wall spaces showcasing the artwork that's for sale. And then in the center of the room have display cases displaying the artifacts that aren't for sale, but just this is Navajo pottery from this region. So I want it to be kind of an interactive gallery in the sense that you're learning about different tribes while you can also buy. So whether it's beadwork, jewelry, paintings, sculpture, whatever the case is. And I also want to be supporting tribal members. And I would still keep Native American-based charities involved too, where instead of the gallery, me taking a percentage of the money, percentages would go to those charities.
That's awesome. I love that. That's a great idea.
It just all costs money.
It does. Why does everything cost so much damn money? Because it's like all these awesome ideas, and like, oh, I need money.
Yeah, no. And I got expensive taste.
Oh, like, same.
Tally up everything. It's like, oh God.
Right? Champagne taste, but a Busch Light budget.
Yeah, pretty much.
Have you thought of like if you did something like this, maybe having like art classes and stuff?
Yeah, so that's another thing I want to take a step further. I want this to also be a gallery that offers business classes to artists. So, because a lot of artists don't think to ask those questions, like, what's the consignment? What are my percentages? Are you promoting me, or do I have to promote the gallery?
Yeah,
Are you guaranteeing me sales? Like, what's the give and take here? Because
as artists, we don't think that way, right? Like it was at the left side of the creative, and then the right side of whichever the brain,
whatever the opposite.
The number. I'm not a numbers guy either, and I am in real estate, and I am like numbers. I'm very creative, so yeah, those are things that you don't think about, and I think that's a great idea to kind of give them a resource, right?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
A lot of people don't even think too, like if I giving up the art rights.
Oh.
Because that's huge. Like if I create an image and you buy it from me,
right,
and you have the art rights, you can make posters, you can make bumper stickers, and keep all that profit, and I'm left in the dust. Like it just simple little things like that that I feel like artists are getting taken advantage of, and they just
absolutely.
I don't want to say they don't have the balls, but it's like they don't
maybe think about it.
No, they don't think about it until it's too late.
Right. On that note, how do you feel about this whole AI thing? The art with the AI?
Oh boy.
Because I know that's kind of a thing, especially with artists, like music artists. I mean, right now you can go, I can't remember what site it is. I think it starts with an S. It's an AI app that you can go tell it what song, like what kind of song you want, and it'll spit out a song for you, just like that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of the same with art. You can say, hey, I want to, especially with, God, I cannot think of the name of it right now, but it's crazy how detailed this art is. And all you tell is what you want, and boom. How do you feel about that as an artist?
Oh boy.
He's like, how much time do you have?
Yeah, no kidding. On one hand, it is cool. Like, I think it's great for an artist to use as a resource because it's an idea that they might not have even thought of.
Oh, yeah.
But unfortunately, I don't like it in the sense it's devaluing those artists that are still creating. I mean,
Yeah.
there's still people that come to my shows too, and all this work is 100% original, but you still will get those people that, well, it's 400, but we take 300. You know, like they want to sit there and
Barter.
And I'll straight up tell them, if you want a deal, go to Target and get something off the clearance rack. You know, it's like, so that's kind of how I feel with AI. It's like, because art, it used to be like during the Renaissance, you would pay, or the noblemen would have an artist come to their home and paint the family portrait.
Right.
Like, they didn't have photography. They relied on artists. They relied on their currency. They relied on their fabric, textiles, all that. Not saying we got to go back to the Renaissance, but, you know, like, I just feel like we need to take that time to, if you're going to want art original, then you got to be ready to pay that price and not question it.
Right. Absolutely.
Because you go to the doctor, I mean, insurance and all that fun stuff, but
you can't dicker with a doctor.
No.
Will you take $100 to off my foot?
So
that's
I don't know. That's just my take, my perspective on it.
No, I think it's totally valid, because there's something to an original piece, right? Versus a print.
Well, and I mean, you're a realtor. There's more than one realtor in town.
Oh, yeah.
There's more than one artist. So it's like, if I can't afford you as a realtor, then it's like I have the option to go somewhere else.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. But it's like you get what you pay for.
Yep.
Across the board.
Yeah, there's value.
Food, drink, hotel, whatever. So
yeah, because I have like this original painting that I bought at I found it at a thrift store. And it's original, and it's a painting of Louis Armstrong. And I value it so much. Yes, can I get prints of it for way cheaper? Yeah. But it's original. Like, you can see the strokes, and there's just something to that. It's just magical, right? And a buddy of mine, I don't know if you know Travis Hunt.
That name sounds familiar.
Yeah, so he used to do kind of what you're doing, called Road Gallery, where they would do a traveling, kind of like a show like what you're doing. This was years ago. I
just thought of Roadhouse after you said
that. Oh, Roadhouse? Have you seen the new one?
No.
I've heard mixed. I was like, I don't know, Patrick Swayze, can you anyway. Roadhouse, that's funny. Squirrel. But no, so he used to paint, and we bought this huge piece from him, and you know, he's friends of ours, but we didn't ask for a discount. We're like, well, how much is it? Okay, we'll pay it. You know what I mean? Because we know the time and effort that he put into that piece, and it still sits in our house today, and every time I look at it,
and that's another issue with the AI.
Yeah.
Like, all a person's got to do is just type it in. That takes seconds. Versus a painting where it might have taken the person a week, or it might have taken them 7 years to create. You know, like it just, there's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears involved.
Oh yeah. So, yeah. Have you ever gotten so frustrated with a piece that you just like slammed it or threw it away? Kicked it or threw paint at it or torn it up?
Yeah, it was in high school, actually. I don't remember what the piece was, but it was my semester project, and it was not coming out right. I probably had like this much paint on it. Like, it was just kept layering it over and over, and I was just so annoyed that I brought it with me to a bonfire, and that was the firewood.
Oh my God, that's funny.
So then when we had to turn the project in at the end of semester. My art teacher was like, okay, where's yours? And I'm like, it's down by the river.
It's down by the river. It's dead. The art piece is dead. So what do you have any artistic influencers that you look up to or kind of watch?
So yes, I mean, there's definitely members of my family that are artist related that I've always looked at and admired. But as far as like publicly known, I like Van Gogh. He's a Potawatomi artist in my tribe. His name is Woodrow Crumbo.
Okay.
His pieces you can see in the Smithsonian in DC. Like he was well known.
Okay.
Gosh, I'm kind of stumbling. There's numerous artists that I admire and appreciate. Like I like Picasso, I like pop art, I like Renaissance, I like Rembrandts, I like just anything art related, you know, like because I don't like to stick with just one style myself.
Right.
So I like to surround myself by multiple styles, whether it's photography, black and white, like, you know. Gosh, that was a good question, but kind of stumbling.
I know it's hard to like think of that because if you were to ask me right now what my favorite music artists, I'm like, there's so many, I don't know which genre. You know what I mean? But no, that's awesome. So what advice would you give to aspiring artists that are watching right now that maybe are thinking about getting started? What advice would you give them?
Just go with your gut. If it feels good, just go for it.
Yeah.
Don't be afraid to network. The biggest thing that I did when I first started, I mean, I don't have any new ones made, but get business cards made up. They don't have to be fancy right out the gate. Just have your contact number, your name, whatever social media you use. Because when I first started, any place I went to eat, drink, wherever, I'd pay the bill, but I'd always leave the business card there.
That's smart.
Just do that, and then
I should start doing that with real estate. That's kind of genius, actually.
Yeah, it's
you just never know.
It's little bits of networking, and then if, like, just this last weekend, I went to Belgrade and saw Jason Momoa. And
I thought he was there.
Yeah, and I gave him some tickets.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How cool would that be if he showed up to your event?
I'm not going to hold my breath, but you know, it's just little things like that. It's just simple networking.
Yeah. So like you actually physically handed these to him.
Yep.
And he took it.
Yep.
Wow. Like, did you just were you talking to him first, or did you just go up to him and be
No,
like,
it was so the photography portion was very short and sweet. We were in line for.
So it was like a photo opportunity.
Yeah, it was a total meet and greet.
Oh, okay.
We were at the Belgrade liquor store, and there was easily 2,000 people there.
Oh my gosh.
So I was in line 2.5 hours. The group ahead of me in the line were getting their photo done. The guy kind of monitoring the line said, okay, have your camera phone ready. You're going to give it to this gal and then be on your way. I gave it to her. She took the picture, and then she pointed, there's the exit. Like, it was very quick. So, and they of course thought, because I also brought a print piece of mine to give to him too.
Oh.
So they thought that I was like gonna have him sign, and I'm like, nope, this is actually for them. So I'm like, here's a print for you, and here's some tickets. They took the picture, and then there you go. So it was very,
How cool is that though? Like, if he takes your art piece and puts it in his house, that's genius. I love that. That's a cool idea. I like Jason Momoa. If you're watching, which you're probably not, hopefully we'll see you there.
Yeah.
So what was he doing in Montana?
So he and his business partner Blaine Halverson created a vodka.
Oh, that's right.
Like maybe 6 months ago, give or take. Found out it's actually distilled and bottled in Bozeman.
Wow.
So
that's cool.
Yeah.
So do they have like a place where they serve it, or they're going to serve it at all the bars in Bozeman? Or
I think that's the plan eventually. I know it is definitely sold in Belgrade at their liquor store. But even if you go on their website right now, everything, it's sold out.
Really?
They sold over, I think, like 4,300 cases.
Wow.
Like lots of vodka.
What is it called? Do you know offhand?
I'm probably gonna mispronounce it, but it's called like Mali, I think.
Okay.
It's like MEILI.
Okay.
But
did you try it?
No.
Okay.
As much as I want to, it's actually a signed bottle.
So it's probably expensive.
It's signed, and then it's all sealed and it's got the labels. And mine has a little label on saying it's distilled from the first batch.
Oh.
So I'm
holding on to it.
I as much as I want to. I'm like, nope.
They didn't have like sample testing or anything in
Nope.
This. They should have. They should have. Who's the marketing person on this one? So this is one thing that I've been dealing with, and we kind of touched on a little bit. Do you ever experience creative burnout where you're just like, you know what, I just don't want to do this anymore for a while? Like, I need a break.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I'm even now planning 2025's art show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Jeez. You haven't even put the first one to bed, huh?
But I eventually do want this to be my job. So it's, especially with venues anymore, planning around other artists' schedules, you have to be at least a year out.
That's true.
There are some days and some weeks that I'm like, okay, I'm over it.
Yeah.
But then I go to my normal job and I'm like, nope, I don't want this anymore. So
I gotta make this work.
So that's another bit of advice, I guess, for young artists or people trying to be an artist. It's like, you got to have a Monday through Friday job, but if you want to make art your career or your main source of income, then you might only have to get 3 hours of sleep. You might only, like it just
drink lots of salt.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my liver's gonna die soon.
Mine's liquefied. Cheers.
Cheers. Oh man. So other than your art show that's coming up, do you have any other things? Do you present your art at the art walk downtown ever? Or?
No, just only because work scheduling.
Yeah.
But I'm just more concerned or worried about my show and my stuff. So I don't want to spread myself too thin, I guess, too, because I probably am not going to be in the show this year, like traditionally have a space. Okay. My paintings are only going to be on the cock table or
the
high tops.
Oh, the high tops.
Yeah.
Got it. Like the bar or whatever. Yeah, I gotcha. Can people purchase at your show?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
It's just I'm going to have limited pieces.
Sure.
It's just been kind of hard to sit down and really paint and develop new techniques and whatnot.
When you're doing this.
So it's just
because event planning is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. People don't realize that unless you've ever planned an event. It's intense.
So my one sister got married 3 years ago, and then my youngest sister is actually getting married in June. And my mother and I were talking the other day, and she's just, I got to do this, I got to do this, and I had all this blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
All to get this wedding done.
Right.
And she's like, and you do these art shows every year. I don't know how the hell you do it.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's a passion project.
Yeah, no, totally.
You have to really be passionate about it. It's a lot of work because you got to think of everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And be adaptable. Like this year especially, I've had 4 artists drop out last minit on me because of like medical related stuff, or family stuff. So it's like
things you can't control.
Show's got to go on.
You got to pivot.
Yep.
Pivot. Mm-hmm. That's the word of the last few years, right? Pivot.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, my phone's going to die soon, and that's what I'm using for my Wi-Fi. So I think this is a perfect opportunity to wrap it up. But for sure, go see his show. I will be there. I'm going to force my husband to go with me. He doesn't know it yet, but we're going.
Surprise.
May 11th at the Northern Hotel. To buy tickets, follow them on Facebook or Instagram and message them there. Get your tickets, or buy them at the door, $10 general admission.
Yep.
But you definitely want to do the VIP because ARC's dancing and there's other fun stuff for the VIPs. So it's Perspective 2024, May 11th at the Northern Hotel. Thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having
me. Yeah. This has been a fun conversation. This is why I love doing this, because we never knew each other, and here we are just chatting like we've been old pals, right? Yeah. And I always love supporting the arts because I'm a huge art lover myself. So thanks again. Appreciate you. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Again, share this with anybody that you feel would find value, and let them know about the show. All right. Well, have a great weekend. We'll see you guys later.
Yep.
In the stream on the Facebook, and it always takes a while.